This video is called The Power of Voicemail and how it will save you hours every single day. Now, a couple of years ago, I spent around 2 to 3 hours every single day on the phone. And I had to come up with an idea that made it easier for me to save time during the day. And I thought that the problem that was like my biggest problem was that I simply spent too much time on the phone. So I tried to come up with a solution for that. And I found a very simple solution. Let me first of all ask you one very simple question. How many hours every single day do you spend talking with people on the phone? Perhaps you don't know. That is no problem. But here are my experiences. So at that time, like around 2 to 3 years ago, I spent around 2 hours a day on the phone until I discovered a very simple hack. At that time, I had calls coming in all the time and I couldn't really focus on the things that matter to me. So for example, when I worked on contracts or when I actually talked to clients via Skype or when I had clients in my room or for example when I talked to business partners or had to fill in some papers or just simply want to think, want to brainstorm, there were calls coming in. And as soon as I picked up the phone, the people on the other side of the line, they actually tried to sell me something. So I didn't really get any value from these people, only in very few instances. And I thought, I really have to use the time that they call me and I answer to do something that gives me more value than the calls and what could actually erupt from the calls could give me. So I thought I really just have to do more business. And because I spend around 16 hours every single day in the office, I thought I could only increase my output if I have more hours in the office. Now I thought the hours in the office, I want to make them more efficient. And I came up with a very, very simple hack that I want to expose here to you. And that is just simply that I let all of my calls go to voicemail. There's like no call that I actually take, except it's like a very, very important call and perhaps like my family or someone is calling because you never know, perhaps someone is sick or some accident happened and you just simply have to answer. But in my case, there are so many people calling me who only want to sell me something. And that's why I let all of my calls go to voicemail. And you probably think right now, well, but this could actually also be something harmful because in the end there could be very important people calling. But let's be frank, most people that are really important don't call, they actually meet you up for a proper meetup. So I only answered calls when I really needed to or I wanted to. With these people that were very important to me, I knew their numbers. So when on my voicemail, like kind of little recorder, when I saw their number, I of course answered the phone. But when I saw a number that was not important to me and I've never seen before, I didn't answer it, I let it go to my voicemail, and then a couple of hours later, I answered that voicemail and actually went on the phone and called these people. So every single day, I took a specific time and called these people back. I didn't all the time just answer calls, I did it at one certain time. For example, during the day when most people actually have their job to call you, you are probably in that time where you're most concentrated. So for example, when they call you at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when you are the most focused, you will lose the time where you're most focused. So what you need to do is call people at a time where you are not super focused. For example, this could be like a couple of hours or a couple of minutes before you actually leave the office or before you go home or before you stop working. This could be, for example, in the evening. Let's say at like 6 o'clock in the evening, you could call these people. You can only take, let's say, like 20 minutes, really finish the calls when they're like less important in a very short time. When they're very important, then of course you need to take more time. But most of the time, the people that call you actually don't have a lot in common with you and often just want to sell you something. That's why take a specific time out of your day and at that time call the people. Don't let people call you during the day because that is the time that you work, that is the time that you focus.